Recent reports indicate that Julius Randle could be missing the beginning of the season with the New York Knicks, while Tom Thibodeau will rely on players such as Josh Hart and most likely also Marcus Morris in order to mend the time between Randle's comeback and his day to get on the court. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into this because we all heard today that Mitchell Robinson was injured. Well, it's not just Robinson who might be missing some time to start the season. Robinson is a certainty. Julius Randle could also be missing time with the New York Knicks to start this year, certainly including preseason, but also very likely including at least the beginning of the season going into November. And obviously this is another blow to a New York Knicks team that has clear title hopes, and let me just say, that does not change now that Randle will not be here game one of the season. First of all, there's always a chance that Randle will be ready, but most likely, due to his injury, due to when he got that shoulder surgery, he will be missing game one of the NBA's regular season. Now, I'm not going to tell everyone to panic or anything like that, because frankly, it's not time to panic. It's an unfortunate situation going into this season that, once again, Julius Randle is not going to get the chance to warm up in preseason and be healthy for the beginning of the year, which obviously is a huge blow to the team. Randle is the second best player on the team. There's really no way around it when you look at Randle's numbers. It's very clear. I mean, the man puts up 24 points per game, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists, along with shooting 47% from the field. Phenomenal player. There's a reason why he's a perennial all-star. There's a reason why he's an all-NBA player when he plays a full season. But he will not be playing a full season this year, even though he might end up playing 77 games, which is a full season, because according to Brett Sigel, he'll be missing some time. Now, as mentioned, in regards to Randle, he underwent surgery on his right shoulder in April, and the team revealed that he would be reevaluated in September, so the reevaluation period should have either happened, be happening, or is about to happen. It's one of those three. Now, also the Knicks and Randle are expected to give further updates on his rehab process during Media Day, also known as Content Creation Day, and when training camp begins at the start of October. Yet league sources did tell Clutch Points that the three-time All-Star is unlikely to be a full participant in preseason, and this could very well transition over into some of the regular season as everything seems to look. Now, Ian Begley also spoke out on it, and when Begley speaks on something, you start to believe it. He is the most tapped in of all the New York Knicks beat writers. Now, as Begley mentioned, as far as Julius Randle goes, his rehab had been going very well earlier in the offseason. Based on previous timelines for his shoulder surgery, Randle would be significantly ahead of schedule if he was fully cleared for the start of camp. That's just speculation from Begley on past surgeries, and we're going to find out more specific information later this month when players gather for Media Day. Now, Knicks Media Day is upcoming in around a week from now, so we are going to see what the deal is with Julius Randle. That's obviously going to be a question that's not only asked to Julius, but it's also going to be asked to Tibbs, who's always asked about injury updates and never gives a clear answer. That's what Leon Rose wants Tibbs to do. That is what Leon Rose likes. He does not like other teams knowing the Knicks' business. It's a very smart move. It's exactly what they should be doing. It makes total sense. We like that the Knicks are going to do this. What we don't like is the fact that Julius Randle's clearly not ready for preseason, and part of the reason about that is because he held off to not get surgery to see if he could come back and play in the playoffs for the Knicks. However, his shoulder was just not set in place. It would have popped out again. It was all but confirmed that Julius redislocated his shoulder soon before surgery, which was the final blow to really the straw that broke the camel's back, if you will, or the straw that dislocated Julius Randle's shoulder. But Julius is a phenomenal player for the Knicks. I am very much part of the Randle hive. I think that on a full season, he'd probably end up being an all-star again. Very good chance he'd make All-NBA, as he has in two very recent seasons. Not both of them, because there was a season in between where he played poorly because they didn't have a point guard and were starting Alec Burks there. But every season where Julius Randle has a real point guard on his team, even if that real point guard is Elfrid Payton, he makes the All-NBA team. Last season, he was very well on his way to do that again until he dislocated his shoulder against the Miami Heat in late January. And now the New York Knicks are in a spot where they're going to be missing Randle for a little bit of time. He's not going to be fully healthy when this season begins. It's another blow to the team. Yet here's the good news of all of this. And I don't even want to call it good news, as I said earlier with the Mitch injury, but it is silver lining. Looking at the New York Knicks, they're going to be okay. Both of these injuries, whether it's Mitch, whether it's Julius, has happened before the season even began. The Knicks have time to adjust. The Knicks are adjusting. I actually put out a video last night, about Clint Capella and the Knicks being in trade discussions with him. Now, obviously, if you guys watched that video already, you'd know that I don't think that's going to happen just based off financial reasons, unless he gets traded somewhere else and bought out. But the Knicks are clearly going to look to get centers elsewhere. Now, actually, funny enough, I'm filming this video before the Capella one, so I'm just already breaking stuff down, but it is what it is. You guys, I've talked about Capella before. It's not going to be the first time I'm talking about him. Long story short, the New York Knicks are going to need to go out there and do something, whether it's in-house or outside of house, to benefit for Julius Randle. Now, Josh Hart is the guy who comes to mind. He's obviously going to be their backup forward anyway. He averaged 9 points and 8 rebounds per game last season, but outside of him, with missing Mitchell Robinson, the New York Knicks are going to have to look deeper in the bench at least somewhat, and there's 2 names that come to mind. Now, one of them is Marcus Morris, who the Knicks signed to a non-fully guaranteed deal. He's putting up 6.5 points per game and 3 rebounds per game last year in non-consistent minutes, shot 40% from the field, which was the big calling card of Marcus Morris, shooting 43% on corner threes, something the Knicks love. Great catch-and-shoot player, 45% of his shots are threes. He's really, at this point, a three-point specialist who also gives some good physicality and can score on all 3 levels. Just obviously not as much as he was going to last time when he was around on the New York Knicks, but still a great piece to have. Good energy guy, clearly going to make the roster at this point, and I love that. I'm a big fan of Marcus Morris. I think his game is great. I think he perfectly fits this Knicks team. It gives you a junkyard dog type player. Someone who's going to go out there, not afraid to do the dirty work. If someone gets mouthy or shoves Jalen Brunson, Marcus Morris, if he's on the court, is going to be the first guy in whatever player's face to just absolutely be like, nah, you're backing off now. Like, Marcus Morris is an awesome locker room guy to have. There's a reason why he sticks around, why he's never really, him or his brother Markieff, neither one of them ever really have lost their roles in basketball because they're likable, they're respected. They're really, really good vets to have. Now, also someone else who I feel like Knicks fans have forgot about and have decided, like that Toy Story meme, I don't want to play with you anymore, is Keita Bates-Diop. Keita Bates-Diop last season on the Nets put up 3.7 points per game and 2 rebounds per game. Didn't really shoot too well, but is a good defender at a positive defensive box plus minus. I can't even speak right now. But despite the fact that the Nets were pretty bad last year, in his last season that he actually was in a rotation with the San Antonio Spurs, he put up 10 points per game and shot very high percentage from the field, from three-point range and the field. I want to say he shot 40% from 3. I want to say he did, but it might have been around 37. Regardless, good catch-and-shoot player, good defender when he gets consistent minutes. I do think we're going to see Keita Bates-Diop more than people are expecting. If you remember, Tom Thibodeau is the one who drafted Keita, so be sure and be ready to see some Keita Bates-Diop action in preseason. The Knicks are going to see who they want to roll with, Morris or Keita or a mix of both. We're going to see the Knicks do a bit of gymnastics with this lineup until Julius Randle gets back and becomes the full-time power forward once again. Now, off the bench for him will be Josh Hart. At points when other guys get injured, Josh Hart will slide down to the 3 or the 2 or whatever. It's all shooting guard, small forward, and power forward are very much similar positions nowadays. They're all pretty much the same. There's wings, there's forwards. They're kind of the same thing as it is. There's kind of 3.5 positions in basketball, not 5. There's point guard, center, and then wing/forward, which does not count as 2 positions entirely on its own because some people run 3 of one thing. It's just you're going to be able to do at least one of catching and shooting the ball at a very elite rate or playing phenomenal defense, preferably both, or you're going to have some sort of shot creation. Now, the Knicks have all of those, whether you want to go with Mikal, who does it all, or Keita, who does the defense, or Morris, who does the shooting, or Dante DiVincenzo, who's a shot creator and a three-point shooter, or Josh Hart, who does literally everything because he's a Swiss Army knife. I'm about to cough. Never mind. The Knicks are going to be okay. It sucks that they're not going to have Randle at the beginning, but they are going to get him, and what is important is that Randle and Mitchell Robinson are healthy for the regular season. Let me know who you want to see back up Randle and really play for him at first. Like, subscribe, comment. It means the world. Also, very quickly, guys, don't head out just yet. Something I do want to mention, guys, if you do like the content that I'm putting out, make sure to subscribe to Jets Digest. It's where me and my former college roommate, Matt Long, talk about the Jets. It's basically the same thing as here, except I'll be honest, we're having a lot of fun on that channel because every video is a duo. We're really just we're really just talking smack, messing around, having fun, talking some New York Jets. Even if you don't like the Jets, if you're a football fan, you might enjoy it. And while I'm talking about it, I also can be found on Yankees Digest. So make sure you guys subscribe to those two channels if you like watching this face talk about sports. And, well, if you don't, you're just here for Dariel. I understand that too. So, guys, have a great day and go Knicks.